Okay, this story's pretty wild, involving corruption and politics. I'm doing more wider politics themed videos on this channel now, and this story just hit me in the face just before. It's pretty incredible. Trump administration poised to accept Palace in the Sky as a gift for Trump from Qatar. The luxury jumbo jet is to be used as Air Force One, sources told ABC News. So this is from ABC. It's also been a story in the New York Times. It seems like this is legit, and even MAGA people are questioning this one, saying, what is going on here? It smacks of corruption. Let me explain here. The story says, in what may be the most valuable gift ever extended to the United States from a foreign government, the Trump administration is preparing to accept a luxury Boeing 7478 jumbo jet from the royal family of Qatar. A bribe that is to be available for the US President Donald Trump as the new Air Force One until shortly before he leaves office. So he's going to get a brand new jet from a foreign entity, at which time ownership of the plane will be transferred to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation. Sources familiar with the proposed arrangement told ABC News. So the Trump Presidential Library Foundation, so he'll be able to use it after he's president. So this is basically seems like a gift, a bribe to Donald Trump through these other entities. This is to the value of $400 million. It's truly unprecedented. The gift had been expected to be announced next week when Trump visits Qatar. So it seems like they're floating the idea, getting people used to it, seeing if it's going to fly. Something tells me it's not going to fly, but we'll see. But a senior White House official said the gift will not be presented or gifted while the president is in Qatar this week. Well, it looks, as I said, they're lining up to do it. It looks like, just to see, run it by the press, run it by other politicians, other people, to see if it flies. This seems to be normalized what Trump's doing, and it's not the only thing in terms of corruption. I've said that this is looking more and more like an autocracy, and this is the kind of thing that they do. In a social media post Sunday night, Trump confirmed his administration was preparing to accept the aircraft, calling it a very public and transparent transaction with the Defense Department. So transparent, very public. Just because it's out in the open, public, brazen, doesn't mean it's legal. But this will be worked out. I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more about this. Well, hopefully we are. Trump had previously toured the plane, which is so opulently configured, it is known as a flying palace. Well, I wonder why they did that for Trump. And, have you seen his apartment? He likes these gaudy things. While it was parked at the West Palm Beach International Airport in February. So it's like they probably bought it to him to show it to him, and he's obviously tempted by it. The highly unusual, unprecedented arrangement is sure to raise questions about whether it is legal for the Trump administration and ultimately the Trump Presidential Library Foundation to accept such a valuable gift from a foreign power. So even if they manage to weasel their way for this to be somehow legal, is it ethical to do this? Is that even a question now with this Trump regime? Anticipating those questions, sources told ABC that lawyers for the White House's counsel office and the Department of Justice drafted an analysis for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, concluding that is legal for the Department of Defense to accept the aircraft as a gift and later turn it over to the Trump Library. And it does not violate laws against bribery or the Constitution's prohibition, the Emoluments Clause, and any U.S. government official accepting gifts from a king, prince, or foreign state. Well, as I said, even if it managed to be somehow legal, if they pass it from department to department and then to Trump, the Trump Foundation for him to use personally. I mean, isn't this highly questionable? Now, I've seen Laura Loomer, who's a MAGA influencer, has said that she thinks this is not a good idea because it's just smacks of bribery, absolutely smacks of bribery. And we'll see some video clips in a minute about this too. Sources told ABC News that Attorney General Pam Bondi, Pam Bondi's involved, and Trump's top White House lawyer David Warrington concluded it would be legally permissible for the donation of the aircraft to be conditioned on transferring its ownership to Trump's presidential library before the end of his term, according to sources familiar with the determination. So it sounds like she was asked to make this work, give a determination, but wink, wink, make sure that it makes sense and that it's okay. And because she seems to be doing anything she's told to do, not what's legally appropriate. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said in a statement to ABC News, any gift given by a foreign government is always accepted in full compliance with all applicable laws. And we're going to see what she said generally about Trump enriching himself during his administration in a second. President Trump's administration is committed to full transparency, Leavitt added, meaning that they want to do bribery out in the open. So let's see what she said about Trump and enriching himself.
I think it's frankly ridiculous that anyone in this room would even suggest that President Trump is doing anything for his own benefit. He left a life of luxury and a life of running a very successful real estate empire for public service, not just once, but twice. And again, the American public reelected him back to this White House because they trust he acts in the best interest of our country and putting the American public first. This is a president who has actually lost money for being president of the United States. I don't remember these same type of questions being asked of my predecessor about a career politician who was clearly profiting off of this office. That is not what President Trump does, and this White House holds ourselves to the highest of ethical standards.
Well, that is some propaganda. Do we remember Trump's meme coin, which directly profits him? This was days before he took the presidency. That was shocking to me. And it kind of just, there was so much going on that it kind of left people by. But that's another way that foreign entities can funnel money to him through the meme coin, which we'll look at too. But the plane will initially be transferred to the United States Air Force. This is how this is the proposal that this is going to work, that they've legally, thought that this could happen, even if it's not ethical, it's legal, so it must be okay, which will modify the 13-year-old aircraft to meet the U.S. military specifications required for any aircraft used to transport the President of the United States. The plane will then be transferred to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation no later than January 2029. So even if it takes the whole time of his presidency to outfit it properly, then he still gets it afterwards. And any costs relating to its transfer will be paid for by the U.S. Air Force, sources told ABC. According to aviation industry experts, the estimated value of the aircraft Trump will inherit is about $400 million. It's such a massive amount. And what did they get out of it? I mean, a gift of $400 million aircraft, what do they expect to get out of it? I did hear that Qatar Airlines is the first to install, to have Starlink, Elon Musk Starlink. I wonder if that's got anything to do with it. Following ABC News reporting, Democratic Senator Chuck Schumer said via social media, nothing says America first like Air Force One, brought to you by Qatar. It's not just bribery, it's premium foreign influence with extra leg room. Yeah, you can see why Trump, given his nature and how he loves money and he loves this fake faux opulence with the gold, even fake gold, he would love this, and they obviously know that. And so here, both the White House and the DOJ concluded that because the gift is not conditioned on any official act, it does not constitute bribery, the sources said. Bondi's legal analysis also says it does not run afoul of the Constitution's prohibition on foreign gifts because the plane is not being given to an individual. Well, it's going to end up that he's going to have full use of it by himself for his foundation. All right, so let's hear what Brian Tyler Cohen has to say about it. There's a clip here that I think is important, so let's have a listen to this.
And this isn't happening in isolation. Trump's cryptocurrency scheme has been revealed to be overwhelmingly purchased by foreign buyers. Yep. According to financial analysis, foreign investors have poured hundreds of millions of dollars into Trump's digital coins, meaning into his personal pocket. Yet another avenue for foreign governments and interests to funnel money directly to Donald Trump. And this has been a long-standing philosophy for the guy. Here's Jamie Raskin back in 2023 laying out Trump's overt corruption in a way that frankly seems quaint today.
Yeah, so it's sort of passed by and is during his first administration, but Trump 2.0 is entirely different. He is obviously prepared for this, and he's so obviously trying to enrich himself with this meme coin. That is a way to funnel money to him and his family, and no wonder they're supportive of crypto in this administration.
During the Trump administration, we saw the development of a completely new public philosophy, which is that government is not an instrument of the common good and the public interest. Government is an instrument for private self-enrichment for the guy who gets in, for his family, for his private businesses. And that's a model that we're seeing all over the world.
But you don't approve of that model, obviously.
I do not.
You denounced that model.
That's what Putin is doing.
Do you approve of it? So this is the playbook of authoritarian regimes to enrich themselves and their families and people around them. And it's Russia, it's Putin, it's a number of autocracies around the world.
Trump, yeah.
That's what Orban is doing. That's what Marcos is doing. That's what El Sisi is doing. That's what
it's been going on since the dawn of mankind.
Well, but it's new for America that somebody would get in and basically just say, everything is corrupt and I'm just as corrupt as the next guy and I'm going to take money, as Trump did, from China, from Saudi Arabia, from the United Arab Emirates. I mean, look, his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, pocketed a cool $2 billion
from Saudi Arabia.
And in a corporation he created.
And this is what Trump is doing this time around. It's obviously that they were prepared for it, and the enrichment of themselves is part of it. He's not going to be running again. Well, we hope that he's not going to be running again, but he's obviously decided to really cash in, and they've got a plan for doing that. By the way, if you're getting value out of this episode so far, I'd really appreciate it if you remember to hit that like button to help the algorithm to spread to more people. Now, I want to see this video here. This is Anne Applebaum, who's one of the leading experts in the US and perhaps the world on autocracy. She's got a book out called Autocracy Inc., which I've read. It's excellent. She talked about the connections between the different autocracies around the world and how they do enrich themselves. And she has some excellent things to say. I've got a few clips from her, but I'm just going to play one today. Listen to what she's saying about Trump 2.0 here.
It looks like in his second term, he thought, if I ever get another chance, this time I'm going to think big. And it looks as if through his various mysterious crypto ventures, hundreds of millions of dollars, if not more, are moving from all kinds of people all over the planet to himself and to his family. And again, this is shadowy, can't be very precise, but it looks.
So this is why what Caroline Levitt says about, the transparency and the ethics of it, it's just so obviously propaganda because he's so obviously enriching himself and his family this time. And the meme coin has a big part to do with this. And now we get this $400 million jet that might be gifted for his use after his presidency. Come on.
Vastly more money than in the first term has already moved into his hands in the second.
It is really an extraordinary transformation. I can only attribute it, one, to greater preparation. This time, his family and some of his business contacts were prepared for him to win and had a set of plans ready to go, should he become president. Also, it's true that, as you say, in the first term, there were these small violations. There was another incident when Mike Pence went many miles out of his way to stay at a Trump hotel in Ireland. I mean, there are all kinds of things like that happened. And there was really no resistance. Nobody ever said, you're breaking the law. Nobody stopped him. It wasn't even really a major topic of concern among them.
This is how it's been normalized over time. His first presidency did these things that were relatively small, and this time around he's going in big, and this is what she's pointing out. It's different this time, and people haven't quite seen that yet.
But you're right, this time around it's very, very different. I mean, there are about 4 different kinds of things happening, and this is one of the reasons it's so hard to keep track of. One is violations of the emoluments clause of the Constitution. This is essentially the clause that says the U.S. president isn't supposed to benefit in any way from relationships with foreigners. Clearly, Trump benefits directly from relationships with foreigners.
There's just this massive corruption going on here. People haven't quite seen it yet. Maybe they're not in it day to day like I am, like perhaps you are if you follow it. But we'll leave Anne there. I mean, it's pretty incredible. I just find this absolutely incredible, and it is sliding very quickly towards autocracy, which Anne writes about in her latest book, Autocracy Inc., which I highly recommend. And if you want to know more, see more about politics, I do have the new politics channel. I'm going to be doing more politics videos on this channel too, though. There's important stuff going on. I think that's the most important thing going on, perhaps, in the world today. One of them politically. That's why I'm talking about it today. So do let me know what you think of this. Do you think that Trump is enriching himself? It's incredible, a $400 million jet that he's going to be using after his presidency. Incredible stuff, incredible corruption, I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to put a related video right there. Go and see that now if you want to. And hi on Spotify if you're watching on Spotify. I'm also going to put a subscribe link here. Do subscribe here if you're not already. And thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one.